Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Money Mindset Hub podcast. I'm your host, Carla Townsend, and I'm a money mindset and success coach for female entrepreneurs who are ready to eliminate their money blocks and monetize their genius. I am so excited for this episode because I want to talk to you about one of the number one self-perpetuating beliefs that I see play out in many of the women that I work with, including myself, and how it can lead to such a sneaky little self-sabotage in your business that you may not even realize that's happening or think it's that big of a deal, as well as the biggest block that is actually stopping you from making money in your business, and an unpopular opinion about how to truly amplify your success with the least amount of resistance. So let's dive in, shall we? All right, first of all, to kick it off, let's talk about the pattern that I see in a lot of my clients, and I've also caught it within myself. And it is this self-perpetuating belief that success is hard work. Money is hard work. And if we don't work hard enough, then we're not going to be worthy of it. And God forbid, if we want to earn more or experience more in our lives, then we're going to have to work 10 times harder. So this does not mean that certain things in the process of actually building a business from the ground up are not hard, but the term hard work is truly subjective. So for example, I don't believe that my week to week in my business is really hard, but my husband kindly pointed out last year when I was still working about 18 hours a week in my part-time job, alongside raising our 3 little kids, he said, you work really hard and some people would not want to do that much work. And I was like, oh, that's funny. Yeah, I didn't really think that. I feel like there's a lot of effort, but it doesn't feel hard for me because I've been through hard things in my life, maybe like raising the children, maybe like the unexpected shit shows that have come about in our life. So that to me was hard. But it's kind of like that old saying goes, right? When you love what you do, you don't actually work a day in your life. But to be honest, the truth is when you love what you do, you work 24/7, 365. And you struggle to switch off because that's kind of the hard one to do, right? That is actually the thing that plays out the most, right? But I'd also not have it any other way. I would always continue this lifestyle no matter what. Now, another thing here that I want to preface is I know and I have observed in the online space particularly, this really big anti-hustle culture. Now, there's a season and a time where you have to hustle, where you have to do things that you would necessarily find hard. They're hard until they're not. It's effort until it's effortless, right? There is definitely going to be seasons in your business where things do feel like you're pushing your shit uphill a little bit more. And it is a bit harder than what you're used to. Maybe it's a new skill you're learning. Maybe it is something that has arisen that you weren't prepared for, or maybe it's something you've just never experienced before, or you are really, really pushing yourself to your edge. Then of course that's going to feel hard and there's going to be effort, but there's nothing wrong with that. The way that I look at it, the anti-hustle culture, it's more so just anti-burnout, right? You don't want to be hustling so hard and feeling like you're working so hard and it's literally going nowhere. If that's happening, it means you're spending your time doing the things that don't actually matter and they're not moving the needle, or you're spending your time on the things that someone else could actually be doing, or they're really not your strengths. There are different ways to do things. There are always easier ways to do things. So how can you actually lean into the ease? Where are you overcomplicating the process in order to be able to actually earn the success, the money, the clients, the recognition, the rewards, whatever it is that you are creating in your life and in your business? Where are you overcomplicating it and making it harder than it needs to be? This is something I discussed with one of my private clients this week, actually, was there is an easy way to do this. Like, how about we don't do this and we look at this? Because one of my key strengths is definitely seeing shortcuts in the processes. And that's probably from experience. I've been in business now for myself for over 4 years. But before that, I was managing teams. I was managing systems. I was building processes and lines of businesses from the ground up, from scratch, where I literally had to create the processes because none of it existed. So that is one of my strengths. And that's something we were discussing. And this is where this whole notion came from. And I thought, you know what, I need to bring this to the podcast and discuss with you, because a lot of the time I do see this and it is a really big theme that comes up. So I want you to ask yourself this. whenever you're doing anything, whenever you're making any decision, whenever you are completing something, or maybe you're literally just at your wit's end and you feel like there has to be a better way. Why do I have to keep doing this? Remember, what you don't change, you are choosing. I live by that. I swear to God, I say that repetitively, and my clients are probably sick of it. But what you don't change, you are choosing. So ask yourself, regardless of what it is in your life and in your business, is there an easier way? Because I promise you, 9 times out of 10, there is, and it is actually you just resisting change. That is what the problem would be. There isn't always an easy way. And if you don't know, ask. No question is a dumb question, okay, in my book. Now, I want to go into one of the biggest blocks that actually is stopping you from making money in your business, because it really ties into this theme of being able to make things easier. And that is simplifying the payment process. Okay. One of the biggest areas in business where I see women blocking themselves is having about 20 different hurdles that clients have to jump through in order to actually be able to pay them, to work with them, to book a call. Do you have to have the whole kit and caboodle sorted out before you can actually launch? No. Do you need to have all of your website and all the back-end processes and all the opt-ins and the lead generation tools and all of that sorted out before you put something out there? No. There is always an easier way for clients to sign up, to pay you, to opt in before you have everything all mapped out. So where in your business are you creating these rules around that we have to follow XYZ before we book a call? We have to do XYZ before they actually be able to pay me. They have to have read everything. So, okay, perfect example. Yesterday, I had a lady ask me, what's your private coaching worth? Because I tried to find it on the coaching application form and she couldn't find the price. And I went, oh, I literally just assumed that if someone wanted to do private coaching with me, they would go to the private coaching page on my website and then they'd read what's involved, see the price and stuff, because I'm very pro pricing. Put your pricing out there, be transparent, please. Because quick question, do you ever go to a sales page and look at the price? Like if the price helps you make the decision, if you want to make that sort of calculated decision, then put your goddamn prices on your website. Please stop leaving a contact form and saying, fill this out here. Instantly, you've lost a lot of your potential clients because they're not even going to fill it in because they don't even know a ballpark figure. Even if it's a ballpark figure as to this is what your services are worth, put it there so people know what they're up for. And then they will be able to make their own informed decision as to whether or not they are within that ballpark range and can afford your services, or if that's something that they'd like to go into. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, this beautiful lady asked me, what was my private coaching packages? Like what were they worth? Because it wasn't on my coaching application form. And I hadn't even realized because she just jumped straight to the application form. Or she didn't read the website or nothing. She's just gone straight to apply, but the price wasn't there. It was on the website. You usually go through the website and then you go to the application form. Anyway, here I am creating a rule that I hadn't realized around, but people will always read that. You know, people have to read that before they go and fill out the application form. No, they don't have to, and they don't necessarily always want to either. Sometimes they literally are just like, you know what, I want to work with you, give me the form, I'll fill it out. But they want those details there. So what did I do? Got the form updated. So now it says the price for anybody else that just wants to jump straight through and jump that step. Okay. So there's always an easier way. And if you aren't making the kind of money that it is that you desire to make in your business, is it actually easy to pay you? Is it easy to work with you? Do a self-audit right now. Maybe it's like me. Do you have a coaching application form? Are your prices on it? If someone doesn't want to go to the website and they just want to jump straight through, maybe this is your reminder to go and put the price of your packages on the form as well as just on your website in case they want to just jump straight to the end. Do a self-audit and see, because I'm sure that there will be steps that are either unnecessary or they could be eliminated, or if they are really crucial, there is a way to automate them. There's a way to make them better, right? Automation is a busy woman's best friend. And if you have no idea on the steps to actually impact your bottom line and to make more profit in your business, then learn from someone who's already doing it or created what it is that you want to create, all right? Maybe you're a busy mom like me and you just want to go full-time in your business like I managed to do. And it's amazing. Maybe I'm for you. Maybe I'm not. Maybe there's somebody else that you resonate with, but please reach out to them. Please be brave and be bold and learn from the people that have done the things or are doing the things that you want to be. They've got the business that you want. You see them, you resonate, you like the way that they teach, you like their personality, you know, because energy is everything. Or you can do what I did for the first 2 years and just run around in a circle, not really getting anywhere, and then deciding, okay, I'm just going to have a big break when I fell pregnant for the third time, instead of actually moving forward and getting a mentor. So after that break, then I hired a private mentor to just keep me accountable, basically, instead of trying to do all the courses and the masterclasses and all that sort of stuff. There is a point in which you go, you know what, I need accountability and I need to put some skin in the game because that's an edge for me and that's going to make me grow. So best thing hands down ever that I did. And I've never stopped doing that. So it's not saying that you have to go straight to private coaching or go and work with someone privately, because it definitely is more of a premium price. But there's always different like programs or masterminds or something like that. There's different offers where you can actually get direct access to that person so that you can kind of work your way up to private if that's something that you choose to do in the end. But learn from someone who's doing it or done it, someone that you resonate with, because I truly believe that every strategy will work if you believe it will work. But you are more inclined to actually not just learn it, because that's procrastinating learning, right? You learn all this stuff, but you never actually integrate it. I truly believe that it's in the integration, and it's in that being able to be accountable to somebody else to say, what have you done? Where have you gone? It's been that process where you actually learn a lot about yourself. The last thing I want to talk about, now this could be an unpopular opinion, but I want you to stop focusing on the things that you are actually not good at, or the things that you just continue to half-ass because you have to do them, but they're sucking the life out of you. I know for a lot of people, that is bookkeeping, okay? I've had this conversation with a few people recently. If you do not like doing your bookkeeping, or you're not doing them, okay, big problem, hire someone to do them. Now, I say that for two reasons. One, because they're essential to grow a business. Two, you're energetically blocking money by doing that. So if you are going, but where are the clients? Where are all the things? It's not happening. People aren't coming to me. They're not being attracted to me and my work, but you're not even doing your books. You don't even know what's coming in. You don't even know what's going out. You don't know how profitable your business is. You don't know your expenses, what your profit margin. If you don't know that stuff, why would the universe give you more clients and more money if you can't manage what you're currently doing? Okay? Say that with love. Get a bookkeeper. If you don't know those things that I just rattled off then you need a bookkeeper. And here's your reminder. When you spend the time on the things that you actually love, it lights you up. You expand time. You enter this flow state. And it's a beautiful place to be because you're just creating. So what are the things that you're putting off other than bookkeeping? But what do you constantly find excuses for? All right. That's a big sign that it's something that you need to work on, eliminate, delegate, automate, streamline, cut a few steps out, whatever it might be. So then you can actually focus on the things that only you can do in your business, the money-making things. Maybe you've got a podcast. You're the only one that can record it. You're the only one that can prep for it, unless you have a team that's helping you do that. But I know for majority of us creators, we're the ones that are actually prepping them because they're our own intellectual property. And then we record it too because it's from our voice, and serving our clients, creating the programs, but then all like the back end kind of stuff, the admin tasks. If it's something that you do not have to do, let go of the control. Let it go. Focus on the things that are actually going to make the money, because the quicker you do that, the quicker you will feel a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and you feel this newfound clarity in what it is you want to create, because you're not spending so much time doing all the things that you don't really need to be doing and someone else could do for you in the busy kind of tasks. Let the people help you in their zone of genius, which probably is that stuff, and you focus on yours. The more that you do that, the quicker you're going to actually be able to call in the money, the clients, the programs, the top charting podcast, whatever it is that your goals are for 2024, you'll be able to get there so much quicker when you're focusing on the things. So double down on that. What is working really well in your business too? I want you to look at this, not just what you're good at, but what is actually working. Do not focus on the things that are not working, and be very careful around where you are creating rules in your mind around what is working and why it's working, or what is not working and why it is not working. That could be confusing, but What I mean is if there is a certain offer that is selling like hotcakes, double down on it. If there is a different offer that you've got because you feel like you should have it because you're in that niche and that's something that you should offer, but it's not really working, but you keep kind of putting it out there and you're getting crickets, is it really what you want to do? If your energy is not behind the products and services that you're putting out to the world, they're not going to sell, or they're not going to feel enjoyable selling them or talking about them or putting them out there. So don't stress about that. Feel free to stop things, create new things, pivot, change, whatever it might be. Just again, be aware of how many times you're actually pivoting, because at some point you need clarity and direction. And at some point you need to hold yourself accountable and follow it through. And anyway, I feel like half the time when I'm talking on this podcast, I'm also talking to me and reminding me of all the things that I've learned, the things that have worked and haven't worked as well on this journey. So this is a kick up the butt for me and you, because I'm definitely not perfect and I'm still learning. I feel like this entrepreneurial game is a game and you're forever ever learning on how to win the game. Okay. We want to win, play to win. So double down on the things that are actually working. All right. You don't have to be everywhere on every platform. And remember, people made millions and millions of dollars before we even had social media, before that even existed. There was a way to do it when we had none of that. Okay. So think outside the box. So for example, with one of my clients, we've been working together nearly 2 years now, 2 years next month, which is crazy. But anyway, we had a money archetype reading a while ago, and she is a connector/nurturer. They're her top money archetypes. And it was very evident her strengths and her abilities and the things that she loved doing and the things that she didn't. So we actually went on to create a podcast for her. Like I walked her through step by step on how to get her podcast out there and continue collaborating and growing her business and following her natural strengths and abilities. And now, from doing that, from leveraging her strengths, her speaking, her connecting, her collaborating, her focusing a lot on the podcast and doing that instead of trying to write blogs and write posts and all the rest, just double down on the podcast, double down on reaching out that way, reach out to people that she was terrified to reach out to, like do those sorts of things. And now she has listeners and guests from all over the world and her business has never looked better. So there is always a way. You've just got to let go of the things that are not actually working. Where are you trying to control things to work? Or where have you learned something and you've thought that has to be the way? That's the only way. It has to be. It worked for them. Be aware. You are your own key. Your key to success is you. And any strategy will work. But the more that you leverage your strengths, the more that you double down on what's working and amplify that in your business, the more success and ease and effortless things are going to become, including the amount of income and impact that you can actually make. So I hope you love this episode. I'm going to leave you there with that. If you want to check out my free money archetype quiz, just go to the show notes or moneymindset.hub.com/quiz. And it is there because it is incredible. Until next time, remember, the world needs more kind-hearted women with deep pockets like you. So keep moving forward. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I would absolutely love it if you could please leave me a 5-star review and let me know your thoughts. Remember, everything you desire and deserve is just on the other side of your own resistance. So take that next step.